The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The migrants bill passes in the Senate. PPL says it restored power to Abaco following load shedding. And strong ticket sales as Junkanoo parades get closer. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, December 12th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be here today. Also this morning, it's our Safe and Sound series in business. We are talking about Christmas and criminals. Yes, strategies against physical and cyber attacks. You don't want to miss that discussion this morning. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, senators on Thursday green-lighted the controversial smuggling of migrants bill, even as the official opposition continued to demand that the bill be withdrawn. During debate, Attorney General Ryan Pinder defended the Progressive Party's record on immigration policy and accused the FNM of being hypocritical on the issue. The bill, which aims to strengthen the country's borders, target and reduce human smuggling activity in the country, and close gaps in existing legal framework, has faced pushback due largely to a now deleted immunity clause that provided for the protection of smuggled migrants from prosecution. Pinder says that while the government has listened to feedback and made the necessary adjustment to the bill, the FNM and other detractors have used the opportunity to perpetuate falsehoods and innuendos. Pinder saying, quote, "We took public comment seriously and amended the bill to clear up the concerns, but the ringleaders of the shouting and carrying on, the purveyors of politics, are not interested in the truth." The bill was tabled in the House in October, and for many weeks there was no public uproar or backlash. However, Lincoln Bain, leader of the Coalition of Independents, began raising concerns over the bill. The FNM promptly joined the discussion, voicing similar views and concerns, pledging to repeal the law if elected, even though the government has reassured that individuals who enter the Bahamas illegally would still be processed in the same way they are now. Pinder says none of the protections for migrants still outlined in the legislation will change the current process. After the failure of an engine part led to outages and load shedding on Abaco, Bahamas Power and Light saying yesterday that power has been restored to the island. The extended outage occurred after a compressor failed and a cable faulted the Wilson City Power Station. U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker presenting the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies with a $500,000 grant for disaster relief efforts in the southern Bahamas following Hurricane Melissa. Walker saying during the presentation yesterday that the United States and the Bahamas have been friends since before each country was existing, and that friendship has stood in times of good and bad. And a live application and solution developer, Tanya Bain, says that Junkanoo ticket sales have so far been strong, with some sections already sold out for the Boxing Day parade. Tickets for the annual parades in downtown Nassau are being sold on the Alive Events app. Bain says that sections F, H, and I are now sold out, while sections L and G are 97% sold out as of yesterday. So in section E, 87% of seats were sold. Bain says Junkanoo fans can still purchase tickets in certain sections of Rawson Square for both parades, with notably more seats still available for the New Year's Day parade. This year, the parade's being managed by the National Junkanoo Committee after more than 2 decades of management by the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence. Overseas, the European Union is expected today to lock up Russia's assets held in Europe until it gives up its war in Ukraine and compensates its neighbor for the heavy damage that it has inflicted for almost 4 years. The move is an important step that would allow the EU leaders to work out at a summit next week how to use the tens of billions of euros in Russian central bank assets to underwrite a huge loan to help Ukraine meet its financial and military needs over the next 2 years. The Hungarian Prime Minister, Russian President Vladimir Putin's closest ally in Europe, is accusing the European Union of, quote, systematically raping European law. A total of 210 billion euros or $247 billion in Russian assets are frozen in Europe. The vast majority of the funds, around $225 billion at the end of September, are held in Euroclear, a Belgian financial clearinghouse. The money was frozen under sanctions that the EU imposed on Russia over the war. It launched on February 24th, 2022. But the sanctions must be renewed every 6 months, and all 27 member countries must approve them for that to happen. And rains drenching Gaza's tent camps and dropping temperatures, chilling Palestinians huddling inside them Thursday as winter storm Byron descended on the war-battered territory, showing how 2 months of a ceasefire have failed to sufficiently address the spiraling humanitarian crisis there. Families found their possessions and food supplies soaked inside their tents. Children's sandaled feet disappeared under opaque brown water that flooded the camps, running knee-deep in some places. Dirt roads turned to mud, and piles of garbage and sewage cascaded like waterfalls. Aid groups say not enough shelter materials are getting into Gaza during the truce. Figures recently released by Israel's military suggest it hasn't met the ceasefire stipulation of allowing 600 trucks of aid into Gaza a day, though Israel disputes that finding. And in sports, Kirk Cousins leading the Atlanta Falcons to a 29-28 comeback victory over the reeling Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cousins threw 3 touchdown passes to Kyle Pitts Sr., and Zane Gonzalez kicked a 43-yard field goal as time expired to complete the Falcons' rally for a 29-28 victory. Facing a 3rd and 28 on the Falcons' final drive, Cousins completed passes of 14 yards to Pitt and 20 yards on 4th and 14 to David Sills to set up Gonzalez. The Falcons now 5-9 for the season, overcoming a franchise record 19 penalties and a 28-14 fourth quarter deficit to damage Tampa Bay's playoff hopes. The Buccaneers fall now to 7-7. They lost for the 5th time in 6 games, falling a half game behind Carolina in the NFC South. The 4-time defending division champions faced the Panthers, 7-6 for the season, twice in the final 3 games. And from soccer fans have accused FIFA of a monumental betrayal after the latest prices for World Cup tickets began to circulate on Thursday. The governing body allocates 8% of tickets to national associations for games involving their team to sell to the most loyal fans. And a list published by the German Soccer Federation revealed prices range from $180 to $700 for varying group stage games. The lowest price for the final was $4,185. The highest, $8,680. Those group stage prices are very different from FIFA's claims of $60 tickets being available, while the target from the United States soccer officials when bidding for the tournament 7 years ago was to offer hundreds of thousands of $21 seats across the opening phase of the games. Fan organization Football Supporters Europe, FSE, described the current prices as extortionate. In a statement, it said, "This is a monumental betrayal of the tradition of the World Cup, ignoring the contribution of supporters to the spectacle it is." Meanwhile, the English Football Association shared pricing information with the English and the England Supporters Travel Club on Thursday evening, which showed that if a fan bought a ticket for every game through to the final, it would cost just over $7,000. FIFA saying in September the tickets released through its website would initially range from $60 for group stage matches to $6,730 for the final, but those prices are subject to change as it adopts a dynamic pricing method for the first time at the World Cup. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your weather for today brought to you by Star General. We've got a surface trough extending across the southeast Bahamas now. That's going to support a few showers over that part of the country today while weakening. And a cold front also extends across the central Bahamas, but there's little weather associated with that. That front's going to eventually catch and merge with the surface trough later today and stall across the southern Bahamas. Behind the front, we've got a drier, cooler air mass associated with high pressure just north of the Bahamas. That's going to spread across the islands into the weekend. I'll tell you more about your weekend outlook in a bit, but for today, there remains a slight risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposures due to moderate to large swells, and beachgoers and swimmers are urged to exercise caution. Your forecast for today for the extreme northern islands: sunny, becoming fair tonight, less than a 10% chance of showers. Winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots. Northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots for the northwest and central Bahamas today as well. And look for partly to mostly sunny conditions, becoming fair tonight, with less than 10% chance of showers for the northwestern islands and a 10 to 20% chance of showers for the central islands. Different story for the southeast Bahamas, as we told you. A mix of sun and clouds today, becoming partly cloudy tonight, a 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers. Winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 knots by tonight. High temperatures Got a range depending on where you are in the country. For the northern half of the country, a comfortable day today. Highs in the upper 70s, around 77, 78 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the low 60s, around 61 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius, maybe even cooler than that in some spots. For the central and southeast Bahamas, highs in the low to mid 80s, around 83, 84 Fahrenheit, 26 to 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the upper 60s for the central islands, around 68 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. And the low 70s for the southeastern Bahamas, around 74 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new
It is time for break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Transform your home for less at Kelly's House and Homes Holiday Paint Sale now through Wednesday, December 24th. Enjoy 25% off house and spray paints plus 20% off paint supplies, except on net items. Our wide selection of paint colors is the perfect way to bring holiday cheer to your home. You'll also find the best selection of brushes, rollers, pans, glue, ladders, paint thinner, and more. So catch the holiday spirit and paint up for Christmas at Kelly's House and Homes Holiday Paint Sale, going on now through December 24th.
This holiday season, come to John's on Rosetta Street, Ocamica Road for all your footwear and fashion needs, where we've got you and the family covered. Shoes, bags, jewelry, clothes, and even home appliances. John's has everything you need for work, church, play, or the party in your life. John's has Skechers, Steve Madden, New Balance, Nautica, Hey Do It, Patrick Ewing, and other trusted brands. A John's gift card is the perfect gift. So come on into John's and start your holidays off on the right foot. Merry Christmas, Bahamas!
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100. The wait is over. The all-electric Geely Radara pickup is back at Easy Car Sales. Choose from 5 all-new 2026 models, complete with dual cab comfort, impressive cargo space, great towing ability, and tech features straight from the future. The perfect pickup for both work and play is 100% electric elegance, complete with factory warranty. Schedule your test drive of the truck that's built for the Bahamas by visiting easy242.com or call 461-0100.
This Christmas, while we're wrapping gifts, preparing the ham, and celebrating with the people we love, let's also give ourselves a gift that lasts. At CFAL, we believe the best presents aren't found under the tree, they're built over time. a stronger pension, wiser investments, real financial peace. So whether you're just starting out or planning your next chapter, CFAL is here to help. This Christmas, give your future a little love with the help of CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new, fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Sort of. Well, the app's under repairs. We're hoping to have that sorted out shortly. But you can watch us and listen to us. We have two options for you on GuardianTalkRadio.com. The video stream and the audio stream. That's still there. And again, hopefully by the app will be back soon. You can also listen to us on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now on a Friday, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to our listeners.
Great to have you with us. Missed you yesterday.
Yes. Did you?
We did.
Okay.
We used you on Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah?
No problem.
Okay, all right.
No problem.
So
I just
week.
want to say,
Mhm.
I heard you talking about the app being down, but it's being worked on.
Yes.
So I just want to put out there, as it's being worked on, did you also advise them that it should be available seamlessly for Android users? Because, I always struggle with the app, the pauses, the interruptions for no reason.
Why are you on Android?
Oh.
Just a joke. That was a joke. But yes, we understand.
Because
that
it's the best way to go.
Well, I don't know now.
I'm a Samsung girly, and I'm not embarrassed.
You don't talk like this on
about
Thursdays. So maybe Fridays, not your day. But
I'm just saying.
Okay. Well,
so make sure that's part of
we are working
whatever
on that
you're
part.
working on.
Now,
okay, great.
It's a complicated story. We didn't really want all our business on the radio like this, but
well, you don't have to go any further.
I'm sure people are wondering about that.
Else.
It's a great question. There is a challenge if you are an Android user. The developers have recognized that, and we are working on a solution. But yes, our app it's not racism, I guess. But the app has a bias apparently to Apple. I don't know what that's about. But we're working on all of it. But for Apple users, the app will be up soon. So, and all of this, we won't talk like this in 2026. I promise you. Everybody will be able to watch and listen to us on the app in the new year. That's a promise from me to you. Yes?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
This isn't like the promises
not a
when you
politician.
say that you're going to fly me in, right?
That's different. But it's not like one of them
Okay.
politician promises. Not one of those. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Okay. Anyway, today, Laverne, our monthly Safe and Sound series, this is very timely. We are talking about Christmas and criminals. They seem to go hand in hand. That's very sad. But we're going to talk about strategies against physical and cyber attacks. You don't want to miss that coming up in our 9 o'clock business hour. Right now, though, there's a whole lot to talk about in the news. And in the news, migrants bill passes in Senate. This does seem like this was a whirlwind, right? It did go. It happened fast. It did happen fast. It's like, wow.
It was passed in the Senate?
It's on the way to the Governor General.
I can't believe it, Dwight.
Well, you're being sarcastic.
Oh,
now.
my goodness.
It's not that it wasn't going to be passed. You just thought that maybe there'd be some breathing room. Like everybody, hey, take a look and let's really go through this with a fine-tooth comb. But
what a shocker today. Unbelievable.
Sarcasm is lost on the radio. I've noticed. So please, people are going to think that you really are surprised. But yeah. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. A lot to talk about with that in a bit. Just really quickly, a couple of headlines, though. Did you see this video yesterday of the Bahamian who led American authorities on a very lengthy and wild chase through, I believe it was Florida?
I absolutely did not.
You did not?
No.
Wow. So he was wanted in the Bahamas for armed robbery from, I believe it was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fled the Bahamas in 2020, so he's been on the run, and somehow made it to Florida and led police on this wild chase, speeding, crashing, driving the wrong way down the highway I-95. Stole a van, ran through the bushes, had the authorities chase him through the bushes. It was just crazy stuff. So the big headline in the Tribune, Bahamian fugitive arrested in Florida. So he's arrested, bareback, scratched up from all the brush that he ran through. He's lucky he didn't encounter an alligator. Anyway, a Bahamian fugitive who escaped from custody at the Carmichael Road police station was captured in Florida after a high-speed chase and will be handed over to Bahamian authorities once he's been dealt with by the United States justice system. Oh, boy.
That sounds ominous.
Well, they'll take their pound of flesh.
Once he's been dealt with.
Then they'll send the remain. Anyway, suspected armed robber, is it Tomal? Okay. Bo, 33, was arrested in St. Johns County, Florida. Do you know where St. Johns County is? Anybody heard of that?
No clue.
Following a pursuit that began when he allegedly fled a routine traffic stop. Reports in Florida say Bo has been charged with felony fleeing and eluding, grand theft auto. It did look like that video, the video game. It really did. Anyway, grand theft auto, resisting without violence, possession of marijuana under 20 grams, and additional out-of-country warrants. Police in the Bahamas told the Tribune yesterday that Bo has a long-standing armed robbery case to answer when he's returned to this jurisdiction. Well, would the case have come up by now? I don't know. The case, anyway, 2020. What was that, producer? What? You sure? Anyway, okay. They have not yet made contact with their U.S. counterparts and do not know when he will be released into their custody. According to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, deputies first tried to stop a vehicle when Bo allegedly sped off. Allegedly, we saw the video. He sped off. The police officers being very nice because they wear body cams. Now, you could act sarcastic about that one. What? They wears body cams over there? Well, that's crazy. Where did they get that from? Okay. We saw him speed off, and the cop was being really nice.
Mm-hmm.
He said, just need to check something, and all of a sudden, gone. Anyway, triggering a chase, it only ended after officers used a pit maneuver to disable the car. He then allegedly ran. Okay, we could stop this now. Anyway, he then ran from the disabled vehicle, stole a van from a nearby business complex, and drove into oncoming traffic on I-95. Before abandoning that vehicle, as well as disappearing into a heavily wooded, marshy area. Air and K-9 units were called in as part of a large-scale search, and Bo was captured several hours later. U.S. authorities also revealed that Bo entered the country on a legal visa. Really? He was wanted for armed robbery, and yeah? Oh, okay. It's interesting. I guess the folks at the airport don't get the news when the police put out those things. Is that how it works? Is that how it works? You have time. You have time to escape. Okay. Yeah. Because normally in the movies, I need to stop watching movies. In the movies, they say, let's make sure you get to all the train stations and the bus stations and the airports.
And
right? Right? That's what you do, number one.
Everywhere. That's the first
Number
thing.
one thing you learn in police academy. But apparently not in the Bahamas. Or in the movies. In the movies. In the movies. Stop watching movies, folks. It doesn't work like that.
Well, watch them, but understand that it's not imitating. That aspect of it is not art imitating real life.
I see. It's wishful thinking and fantasy. Nice. I like the fantasy world. I really do. Anyway, he entered the U.S. on a legal visa. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is investigating whether he had a Bahamian criminal history at the time the visa was granted. Okay. Okay.
Say it again?
They're investigating whether he had a Bahamian criminal history at the time the visa was granted. Oh. What's that going to do? Your people granted him the visa, the Americans. And there's 2,000 questions they ask you,
honestly,
right? Before you even get to the interview.
Right.
He
chances are he did not.
Right.
But here's the thing: it isn't like when you get a visa. They constantly check every year, to say, okay, do you still, you could get a visa today, granted today, and then a month from now commit a crime.
Right, go on a crime spree.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well, that's a bit of unhelpful information in there. But anyway, the Tribune also reported in 2020 that Bo escaped from custody at the Carmichael Road Police Station, where he was being questioned in connection with an armed robbery investigation. At the time, Chief Superintendent Bruce Arnett, then attached to the station, couldn't provide details, but said it was the first recorded escape from that facility. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Isn't that special? Yeah, okay. I'll send you the video, Laverne. It's very long. You have to fast forward through it. Fast forward through it because it's like, what's going on? When is this going to stop?
Is it longer than the OJ?
No, nothing's longer than that. But
oh my God.
Oh, it's south of Jacksonville? Yeah? Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. Boy, I tell you. Anyway, and there's another story in here. You remember this guy who made a name for himself on TikTok, the bartender that all the tourists said they came to see? Remember that story? That foolishness? So apparently well-known TikTok personality, Elias Fritz has been granted bail. Yeah, you remember?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember.
Has been granted bail by the Supreme Court on attempted murder and armed robbery charges. 19-year-old Fritz received $50,000 bail earlier this week from Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson after more than a month of delays. He must be fitted with an electronic monitoring device, observe a nightly residential curfew, and sign in daily at his local police station. Daily? Wow. Okay, that's a big one. He will be released once the bail is formally signed. Fritz, who has more than 300,000 TikTok followers, well, isn't that special, and is known online as Jado World, and a 16-year-old boy are accused of attempting to rob Theodore Fernandez of his white Honda Odyssey on August 11th and of attempting to kill him. They also face firearm and ammunition charges and the attempted murder of 2 police officers. You get bail for, okay.
Lord, that's a lot.
19. Yikes. The arrest came after a police chase ended when the suspect's vehicle crashed into a utility pole on Eastern Road. Officers from Operation Black Scorpion.
What?
Operation Black Scorpion. Said they first spotted the suspects driving a white Japanese vehicle without headlights at a high speed near Ida Street and Robinson Road. When officers attempted to stop the vehicle, the occupants fled and a pursuit began. During the chase, another patrol unit encountered a motorist on Robinson Road with apparent gunshot wounds. The man reported being shot by people in a vehicle matching the one the police were pursuing. The suspects, aged 19 and 17, were arrested at the crash scene. Wait, okay, is this the same story?
So who's the 16-year-old?
Wait, this is this feels like 2 different stories. I'm not sure what's going on here, because they're saying something about Monday. Not sure what that's about. Anyway, Jado World getting bail after all that stuff, and we'll see. 300,000 TikTok followers.
You sounded a little jealous.
Not at all. Not at all.
Dwight, you
Not
don't
at
have
all.
300,000
I don't even have
followers?
one. I don't even have one.
Oh.
Probably a
Oh,
negative.
so you're not
numbers.
on TikTok?
I can't even spell it. But
that's right. You're an X guy. You're an X guy.
Sure.
You're an X guy.
I still call it Twitter, but yeah. But whatever. Good.
I don't know, Dwight. I'm just getting like a little jealous vibe from you.
Not at all. I'm just
So
thinking this is
all
what the
of our
TikTok people are
listeners,
into.
If you are, first of all, that's not true.
Hmm?
Okay, so let's establish that. That's like a really sweeping general
I'm
statement,
sorry.
but okay. Secondly, of all of our listeners, if you're out there and you are on Twitter, X, could you please follow Dwight? He's feeling a little lonely.
Oh, boy. Okay. Let's get your reaction to all this, folks. Bahamians behaving badly. 323-6232. These are naughty boys who aren't going to get anything from Santa for Christmas. Let's see. 325
Let's go to the callers.
4316 325 4259. Callers toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Guarantee you Mr. Bo in Florida won't be getting any bail before his trial. I guarantee you that. We need to look at what we're doing here. Yes, you have a constitutional right to it, but you won't be doing those kind of things and getting bail very easily over there. What say you, caller? You're live on the air.
And Laverne.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Laverne seems to don't know very much about anything when it comes to. I appreciate that.
To what?
You don't need to admit to that because Dwight will hold you.
To bad things?
Good, Dwight will take you a little further. That's what I'm trying to say. But I would advise
Laverne is a very good person.
Who?
Laverne is a very good person.
Yes, she sounds like she really is a good person and a good person that would nurture anyone she meets.
I don't know what you're implying.
Yeah. How do you know that about me?
Well, I just get it from your voice, the way you speak. And the associations you have. I follow you. I don't follow Dwight, though, because I don't see him on Twitter.
Thank you.
None of those things.
None of those things.
Right.
But I would love to follow you, Dwight, especially if you get on X.
Well, Morning Blend is there.
No, you.
Me. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, hold on. There was a time, when I was much younger, and I took some chances. You could have.
Right.
You could have get in the car from Miami and drive all the way to New York with stuff in the back trunk and.
What kind of stuff?
There's no problem.
Just continue.
Sorry?
Dwight was trying to find out
your
what
regular...
kind of stuff. I'm telling him, don't worry about that. Let you continue.
Yeah, Dwight.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't going too far with this, but fortunately, I always have my mommy in the car with me, and that paid off a number of times. But I remember one occasion when the police stopped me, and I proceeded to come out the car. The police said, "Stay in the car." Okay, Mom in the passenger seat, and he came to the window, and everything went well because he ended by saying, "Take care, Mom." Boy, listen. I advise anybody, if you've been through the ropes and the rigors and you got away, don't try it now, because you would be iced, if you know what I mean. So Christmas is a time when people take a whole lot of chances with their health, and perhaps Christmas does have some criminality associated to it if you really check it out.
You're confusing me. What are you suggesting? That take Mom with you for any of
I
your
thought that was
whatever
what
you do?
Well,
I thought you were going to say.
You
I
need
thought
to
you were
work
going to
smart.
say that.
And if Mom is in the 60s and you in the 20s, Mom would help you. Trust me, just by sitting there.
So, and if you don't have one, just rent an old lady? Is that what you're suggesting?
Right, that's a good idea.
Wow.
I really thought that's what you were going to say.
Sorry, what you could have gotten away with?
Yeah.
Gotten away with? What are you talking about?
Things you could have gotten away with.
Who's trying to get away with anything? Just get to New York. That's all. I mean, don't do it in December.
I'm just saying, if he had a good nose, I'd have been in trouble. But
this is a wholesome program. We
don't encourage.
What I'm
saying is, I want to advise these young fellas who like to take risk, and perhaps that's the only avenue they have to make some money now, because things are...
No. I don't like where you're going. We're not going to encourage that type of talk.
Well, I'm trying to advise people to stop doing the things that could land you in jail.
Well, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I want to say. You know what? I stopped.
Okay, please.
All right.
Please. And don't give Mom a heart attack with, trying
No. I also want to say at this point, the views expressed by the caller.
I don't even know what those views are. I just can't even identify what's happening right now.
But, yeah.
Wow. Okay, interesting stuff. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do it. Anyway.
We say that, right? We say just don't do it. But to a person perhaps in that environment, a person who is very desperate, when they think that what they could get if they're successful outweighs the risk, right? They think maybe sometimes that they're going to be, I'll get away with it because I'm smarter and I have a better plan or whatever. And desperation.
Because you can elude the helicopters and the canines because you're that good.
Sometimes you convince yourself that it won't even get to that point.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, maybe not in Nassau.
You figure you have a way and a plan that it won't even get to that point.
Well,
and
I guess if
you feel like the reward in quotation marks it's worth the risk.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're coming from Nassau and you've been able to do all these things and get away and be on the run for 5 years and use your passport and visa to get out of the country, then maybe you do think you're invincible, right?
To a certain extent, you figure, I've
come this far.
This far.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Florida, piece of cake. No, not quite. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Laverne. Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I think the gentleman's right about Laverne. I'm 61. Laverne seems very balanced, and for a lady, it's just like Dwight. I like to say the ladies you have on your show, to me, all of them are ladies, and that just comes up at that, and see their principles and morals. But Laverne always, she reminds me of somebody in the family. That's all. But what I'm saying is, everybody takes chances, Dwight. We have people in uniform taking chances against the praying mantis, right? You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be too bold about it, but they take chances. But you see how old they look for 51, Dwight? I'll never join the police force, man, because I'm 61 and I look younger than that, Dwight.
They got some ones who look pretty young.
I took chances. I wouldn't like to say what it is, but it has something to do with just growing. Like when you watch National Geographic, we don't like to juxtapose animals with us, right? But it's no different. You will see a young lion thinking that he can take down an elephant. So it's no different from a young cat on the streets. I was young, and I'm afraid, Dwight, because when you was young and you're riding deep and whatever they call it, and you get your little friends, your little influence. So anything can happen. And you're under the influence of drugs. It could be alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And I only smoked weed. I never used any type of other drug in my life. But what I'm saying is, they got pills, they got syrup, they got everything, and corrupt, right? They have everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, we have to try some real. We need about 150 college reads. Now let's put it that way. And people need to just get into the communities. We need about 5,000 Dr. Allens. See, what I'm saying is the country's running away with itself. But I listened to the Prime Minister them speak, right? But it seems to me as if there is a plot. See, NASA only can take so much people. And the fact that they're not facilitating anything, schools, hospitals, etc. I listened to Cleaver yesterday, Dwight. I thought you should have let Cleaver finish what he was saying. Because I thought Cleaver I was juxtaposing that with what we're saying today. But we can't sit back in a country and then talk about crime and what people are doing and let it fill up. Let it fill up. I see, you might say there's no juxtaposition. But there is a juxtaposition because if you study science, there are experiments that shows you animal behavior as you compartmentalize them and create. You put them in limited spaces. You see the difference in behavior. I've said it over and over already. I don't care to say it over, but there are many psychological experiments, the Skinner projects, et cetera, et cetera. And so I don't know what they expect. It's a miracle, and we don't know who's here. But if you hear some of the son names, I heard a son name from a guy who had sex with his sister or whatever it was. I can't even remember. But the world has changed. Everybody is caught the mage. And you must realize that social deviance would be going on. And it's going on a lot. And I live in the inner city. And I don't care what you guys say. I see it. And, they thought my generation is bad. Wait until you see. Because what you say in the Bible says very simple things, Violence begot violence. Hate begot hate. So there's nothing scientific about this, Dwight. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And, with the
52,
police force...
52,
right?
before you go, I wanted to ask you a question. You talk about, when you were younger and, you did some things.
I would never even repeat them.
Right. No. I don't want you to repeat them.
Not even on the radio.
I just want to what, like, your thought process at the time. Did you think about, like, we're talking about this, were you thinking about the risks or thought, whatever I was
Sometimes
doing,
what's frightening for me is, I just mentioned this one time. I was in front of the place where they sell the corn across the road from the Hilton. And a guy approached me. I don't know if he took me for someone, but he tried to rob me. And unfortunately, I was able to, as I fell on the ground, I was able to kick him off and hurt him to get him enough to run. And my friend actually saw what happened as I was outside. And then I got away. I said I could kill him. Wow. And what I did was I dropped my friend home. I said, man, listen, I can ride down these streets because he might have run that way. And if I see him, I can kill him. And I dropped my friend home because I wouldn't tell you what I had. But if I saw him, I could kill him. And I stopped. We had a city market. We had a junk in the back. So I opened up my back trunk. And I saw someone come running and walking through there. If I was him, you would have never heard from me anymore because I had anger. So it's not about, sometimes it's just anger. But I wasn't on no drugs or nothing like that. I might have smoked weed, but I wasn't on any drug. But what I'm saying is, when people have friends, it's like a cause and effect. You don't know what's going to happen, and that's just the way it is. And so, and that's going on a lot today. People do things, and then they suffer the repercussions. I've done things in which the people live, and I was glad they live. And I had officers come there, I wish the person died. So what I'm saying is, when you hear people on the radio, we don't know people's background, but I didn't even know I could live this down because people try to put mouth on you. They try to say this, but God have everything in His hands, and so you have to be able to share your experience with the young people. And when I look at the young men, they are very much lost because they don't think that anything. Basically, sometimes some of them don't care, but they care when it's too late. Like when they see somebody come for them, and so you have to preach this. Tit for tat, it won't work. Give thanks.
Okay. All right. Wow. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, we've got a lot of text messages. Let's get to these. So this is back to the app. That's discrimination, Dwight. I am an Android user as well.
Yes. Yes, with that.
It wasn't intentional, it's just
you know what, Dwight? I started to think that it was because I told you what the issues is I was having.
Yes.
And the first thing you said
I can
to
give
me
you the
was,
technical
is it an iPhone? And I said, no, it's not.
Well, we had to establish a baseline, and then we got a series of people saying, "Hey, this isn't working for me on Android." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It works perfectly fine." And then we found out, oh, the Android people are having issues. So there's a long. You don't need that long. The
No.
technical explanation for what's going
No,
on.
I'm
But
not.
I'm
I know
promising
I'm
you.
not interested. I'm just hoping that once it is working again, it will be working for all different users, whether they're Androids, iPhone, whatever, that they'll be able to use
Eventually.
without interruption.
Eventually, yes. The texter says, is there any update on the two criminals who escaped from the Nassau Street station? When was this? Now, I know last week there were two people who escaped within an hour of each other from two different stations. They both have been captured, apparently. But the guy who escaped from court, it's been months. Wow. Nothing. I mean, they should check the footage of the airport. He probably caught a flight somewhere. Oh, boy. Wow. Not a word, Laverne. I mean, he just vanished.
Disappeared? Vanished. Okay.
It's like, call this place Stranger Things. Anyway, more crackhead games. This is a text. The reported capture of a Bahamian after leading Florida authorities on a high-speed chase raises serious concerns, particularly given revelations that he entered the United States on a valid passport while reportedly facing charges here at home. While our Constitution rightly upholds the presumption of innocence, it also allows for reasonable restrictions when individuals are before the courts. He wasn't. He was wanted. He was wanted. They were trying to find him, and he managed to get out.
But it goes back to what you were saying, right? Because if he entered Florida with a valid passport and visa, that means that he more than likely flew there.
More than likely.
Right. And so we should have some sort of alert system so that even if he was trying to get to Florida, you know what I mean? He should have been stopped at the airport.
Now, here's the thing.
I don't know how it works. I don't know if all the databases are somehow connected. Do we reach out to the airlines because this person, and he's not the first person I'm going to go out on a limb and say that has, done something like that. So I figure at this point, we should have something in our system, in our police system, where when this happens, immediately.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't mean that
are alerted.
They don't tell us anything. They only speak to us when they feel there's a need to. I'm talking about Bahamian authorities, right? You get a whole lot more information from everybody else in the world. So they probably knew that he was in the States. We're the ones finding out that he's in the States. I'm sure they knew. Right. I'm like, oh boy, this guy escaped.
It isn't even about them knowing, because if they know he's in the States, he's already in the States. What I'm saying is, at what point maybe, did you alert air transport or sea transport to say, we're looking for this person, so that even if, I'm sorry to use your name, even if Dwight Strachan makes a reservation or goes to check in, we don't have that?
Yeah.
That he would be stopped at that point because he's already in everybody's system to know, look out for this person. Mm-hmm. Look out for someone matching this description.
Yeah. That's what we want to know. Does that happen here? Do they put that up after they know the person's wanted? I mean, after they know the person's gone. Like,
right.
He's already gone, but we're putting up this wanted poster. But great questions we all need to understand. So the text was talking about courts, but he wasn't yet before the courts, as far as we know. Unfortunately, this becomes a black eye for the Bahamas and reinforces perceptions of inconsistency and of inefficiency within our law enforcement system. Worse still, incidents like this risk validating hardline U.S. policy. I do think you need to calm down a little bit. Things happen like this, but we should be concerned about, as we've been mentioning, when do they alert the borders, the authorities, that we're looking for this person? Make sure you don't see him trying to get on a boat, on a plane, or whatever. Okay, yeah, that one definitely is not going to work. Sorry, texter. This person says here, politicians promised that they will declare their assets months ago, and in December 2025, all have not. Okay. Thank you. Yes, we talked about that yesterday. Bull's evasion could have or may still have consequences for Bahamians, especially as we pursue visa-free access to the United States. Well, only one person has talked about that. But anyway, remember when an Afghan national and shot at a National Guard member, and within days Trump ordered that all Afghan migrants be sent back? Situations like that show how quickly U.S. policy can shift based on security concerns. He didn't. They mentioned it in the article, right? Nonviolent. So, and it's not the first time Bahamians have acted the fool over there. A couple more messages as we go to the break. This person says here, the young criminal with the TikTok followers should not have been given bail because of the seriousness of his crimes. He should be banned off TikTok, negatively or influencing young people, just like they have banned it for 16-year-olds and under in Australia. They are civilized. Okay. And this person says here, the app is not working for iPhone. Yes, that's what we said. It's not working for anybody right now. How are you lucky enough to make it to the U.S. while wanted here, then do foolishness while there? He was supposed to lay low and keep his head down. The stupidity of some people. Well, he was.
Sometimes you get comfortable and you let your guard down because you've been over there since whenever, you know, and so you let your guard down, right?
Sure. Again, routine traffic stop. It had, he could have ended very well if he had a valid license over there. Right. But here you go. Just don't do it, kids.
It happened, yeah.
Don't get into a life of crime.
Yeah.
We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on a Friday morning on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Jingle Bell Square in the frosty air. What a bright time.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. Traffic alert reminding you of the work going on Joe Farrington Road. You want to avoid that area if you can as the paving gets underway. If you must, follow the posted traffic signs in the area. You must be on that thoroughfare. In your real-time traffic right now, we've got a number of hotspots for you. The usual suspects. We've got Mile Butler Highway heavy traffic from just north of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. That's northbound. And Blue Hill Road seeing some heavy traffic near St. Vincent Road. And again, as you get closer to Carmichael, and that will continue straight through to Independence Drive, mainly for northbound travelers. Independence Drive seeing some heavy traffic eastbound this morning. Slow-moving westbound traffic as well. But you're going to be seeing that from the Blue Hill roundabout straight up to East Street roundabout, and even southbound on Blue Hill to the roundabout, you'll notice that as well. East Street, heavy traffic for you between Soldier Road and the roundabouts with Independence Drive and East-West Highway. That's northbound. Traffic backed up along Soldier Road as well, eastbound to that intersection with East Street. And just east of that area, slow-moving traffic near Windsor Place. And then Soldier at the intersection with Prince Charles and Robinson Road. Robinson looking terrible for you from that intersection straight up to Marathon East-West Highway. Heavy westbound traffic. And all along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, you're going to be seeing delays and slow-moving traffic. Those are your hotspots for now. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. This traffic alert brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your goals happen here. And time for another check of your weather, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. So we've got a surface trough extending across the southeast Bahamas. That's going to support a few showers across that area today while weakening. Then we've got a cold front that's also extending across the central Bahamas with little weather associated with it right now. But that front's going to eventually catch up and merge with that surface trough later today and stall over the southern Bahamas. Behind the front, drier, cooler conditions with high pressure just north of the Bahamas. That's going to spread across the islands into the weekend. But the merged front and trough over the southeast Bahamas will lift back northwards this weekend. That's going to mean an increase in moisture and upper level support, promoting some shower and thunderstorm activity, mainly over the central Bahamas by Saturday, eventually getting to the northwest and northern Bahamas by Sunday. Then another cold front's expected to move into the area by Monday. That's going to bring even cooler temperatures and strong gusty winds for the next week as high pressure builds. Ahead of that, though, for today, there is a slight risk of rip currents, especially along Atlantic exposures, due to moderate to large swells. Beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution. So for today, north of that stalled area in front, we're looking at sunny conditions or partly to mostly sunny for most of the country, except for the southeast Bahamas. A mix of sun and clouds with an increase in the chance of showers. High temperatures in the upper 70s for the northern half of the country, around 25 Celsius, and the low to mid 80s for the central and southeast Bahamas, about 27 to 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a cool 61 Fahrenheit for the northern half of the country, 16 Celsius. A comfortable 68 Fahrenheit for the central islands, 20 Celsius, and much warmer 70 to 74 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius for the southeast Bahamas. Into the weekend, Saturday, partly sunny during the day, becoming mostly fair at night for the southeast Bahamas, but partly cloudy to cloudy for the rest of the country. 20 to 40% chance of showers or thunderstorms for the northern and northwest and central Bahamas. By Sunday, partly cloudy to cloudy for the northern half of the country and a mix of sun and clouds elsewhere. Still a 20 to 40% chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms. Then for Monday, partly cloudy to cloudy or mix of sun and clouds for most areas. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Easy Car Sales, inviting you to take a test drive in the Geely Radara all-electric pickup truck and enter to win an exciting box of everything you need for a great Christmas. Visit Easy Car Sales, the only Radara authorized dealer in the Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner this Friday morning. This is the first time I heard that part of the song, I think, or paid attention. Scary ghost stories? I mean, the one with Scrooge is a little, I guess, scary. Laverne, do you tell scary ghost stories at this time of the year? Other than
absolutely not.
That's kind of strange. Maybe
Absolutely.
back in.
If I'm honest, the only part of that song I really know is "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year." So I was also listening to the lyrics. I was like, "What?"
It's a lot going on. A lot going on in that song. But okay, you know, the human race, we're changing. There are lots of things developing. Each decade, we've moved away from certain things.
I'm just going to think they were just trying to rhyme.
Ghost story? Okay.
I don't know.
Again, Scrooge is a bunch of ghosts in that story. So perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps. And that is a Christmas Carol.
Do you know what? Ghost of Christmas
Past, yeah. So maybe.
Maybe that's what.
Yeah.
But honestly, the only part I can ever come on when that song is "It's the Most Wonderful." That's all I know.
And then ding, dong, ding, right?
Yes.
But anyway. Oh, boy.
The extent of my knowledge for that song.
There you go. All right. So we're talking about what's in the news. Coming up in a little bit, our Safe and Sound series, we're going to be talking about Christmas and criminals. Now, that's scary. That is scary. And how you can prevent being a victim of physical and cyber attacks. So we're going to get into that in a bit, but we continue with what's in the news. So time to get to the big story. Migrants bill passes in the Senate.
What?
So quite a lot said, especially from the Attorney General, Ryan Pinder, yesterday. Yeah. Our Charlene Ferguson has all the details, which you need to know in this report. Take a listen.
Government's amended Smuggling of Migrants Bill 2025 was tabled in the Senate this morning without Section 11, which government removed. During his contribution to that bill, Attorney General Ryan Pinder chose to focus on the anti-smuggling law enforcement and prosecutorial elements of that bill, which he said will toughen criminal penalties for those who smuggle people into this country.
This bill strengthens our ability to hold smugglers accountable, as it introduces stiff penalties for those who would exploit the vulnerable for profit. Until now, prosecutors pursuing smuggling charges against persons in the Bahamas have been forced to patch together different provisions from the Penal Code, from the Customs Act, and from our immigration laws. This new law closes the gaps and closes the loopholes that exist and provide a more clear and robust set of rules to establish the illegality of human smuggling and to increase the punishment for those who participate in any area of human smuggling.
He said the bill will impose new penalties, which will apply to more than just the captains of boats found to be smuggling migrants.
Now, there's no impunity here for anybody working in government or otherwise. If you are actively involved in a fraudulent travel document and providing it to a migrant, you are guilty of human smuggling. If you arrange the illegal landing or entry of a migrant, you are guilty of human smuggling. An arranger, you don't have to be on the boat, you don't have to be the captain, you don't have to be the facilitator on the ground. You can be the arranger, and you are guilty now of human smuggling. Remember, these did not exist. They don't exist today in current law. These do not exist. If you attempt to conceal or you conceal a migrant for the purpose of aircraft, vehicle, or in a luggage compartment, other container. If you create hidden compartments in vessels, you're guilty of human smuggling now. Before, we didn't have laws to cover that at all. At all. That person gets away scot-free. Now you're a human smuggler.
Persons found guilty of human smuggling will face up to 15 years in prison and fines up to $300,000. Pinder also defended Section 3 of that bill, which he said does not set out new protections for illegal migrants, which critics believe will encourage more migrants to enter this country illegally.
And there's been a lot of discussion that this part of the bill creates additional rights for migrants. That is not true. That is patently false. Protection and assistance of smuggled migrants is mandated by the United Nations Protocol Against Smuggling and involves urgent care, shelter, food, legal aid, consular services, protection against violence, focusing on the migrant's safety in life with special care for those who are most vulnerable, women, pregnant women, and children. Nearly every single United Nations member, over 140 countries, have ratified and acceded to this United Nations protocol.
Including, he said, the Bahamas, which ratified that protocol in 2008.
So tell me how anything in this part is new. It's not new. In fact, Part 2 of the bill, which addresses the protections and the assistance for victims, is merely setting out the obligations that the Bahamas currently have, that have existed for many of years, and that we have complied with. We have complied with these already since at least 2008. So creating controversy with false innuendos and gaslighting intentionally the Bahamian public on something that they know is wrong is frankly condemnable.
He reiterated that section does not limit the Immigration Department's ability to deport illegal migrants from this country. This government has also said that bill will allow for greater cooperation with partners like the United States to ensure this country is not used as a backdoor for criminals looking to smuggle migrants into the U.S. For the Guardian News Network, I'm Charlene Ferguson.
Okay, comprehensive report there. And as we told you at the start of the show, this bill passed in the Senate, so it is just that much closer to becoming the law of the land. Pinder had a lot more to say in the Senate yesterday. Take a listen to this in response to the F&M, and what he said was an asylum bill that wasn't tabled but had been put out for consultation back in 2021. Take a listen.
We have heard a lot of discussion about this bill being an asylum bill. This is not remotely true. Nothing in this bill addresses enhanced asylum protections in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But let me tell you what an asylum bill looks like. Under the F&M administration, they had the Law Reform Commission in the Attorney General's office prepare a draft nationality, immigration, and asylum bill starting in 2018. The bill clearly had deliberations through the term of the F&M government. As a near final draft bill was prepared, you'll see on this, in 2021, the last year of their administration, ready to go. Met me when I was sworn in, right there on my desk, ready to be tabled and ready to be advanced by the F&M administration. I propose that if it were not for sudden snap elections, the F&M government would have advanced and passed into law the National Immigration and Asylum Bill of 2021. Has over 30 sections in this bill, over 30 sections addressing nationality and the transmission of citizenship, and over 20 sections addressing a framework for asylum in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's the F&M government. I remind the Bahamian people that Senator Darren Henfield sat in the cabinet, that the Honorable Kwesi Thompson sat in the cabinet, that the Honorable Hubert Minnis was Prime Minister of the country, and that Michael Pintard was a senior member of the cabinet of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas who agreed in cabinet to finalize that bill and advance it in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is what an asylum bill looks like. One that sets out an entire legislative framework for asylum seekers. The F&M plan for asylum.
Senator Ryan Pinder, who was the Attorney General in the Senate yesterday. Wow. Okay, so as you heard, if you listened to the news at 8 o'clock, Michael Pintard addressed this at their live panel discussion they had last night, talking about the bill and saying, you know, hey, this you pulled that out of practically the garbage. That bill was just put out for consultation. It was never tabled. So what's the point of talking about it? That was then. This is now. This is the new F&M under Michael Pintard. So That's just a lot of deflecting going on. That's what he's saying. All right, so let's get your reaction to it, folks. Lots of talk. Again, this was tabled in October, but nobody was paying attention to it. And a lot of people were focused on the by-election that was about to happen. But some interesting things in the bill that can be interpreted in ways that might not be helpful. But here we are. This has been pretty quick, how this has gone from Monday in the House. The debate started and passed, and now passed in the Senate, and they're ready to become the law.
So what do you think that we signed on to, that we agreed to?
You mean
that we have to pass this so as quickly as you say, as it's gone through?
Well, obviously, the way we deal with the people involved in smuggling is not acceptable to the international community, and that has to be addressed. I don't know if we promised something by the end of the year, because we got only a couple weeks left, and maybe this is why they needed to go through quickly.
Right.
When they appear before these groups next year, whenever it is, how embarrassed they will be when they say, "Y'all haven't done this yet." Right. And perhaps that's it. I don't know. But obviously there was a rush there. But like we said yesterday, the Prime Minister's op-ed speech, which really did sound almost exactly what Ryan Pinder was saying in the Senate. I don't know if it's the same speech, but that should have been,
just changed a few words.
Maybe that should have been that should have happened in October. That should have been happening.
That should have happened in October.
Or when they said they were going to bring it to the House for debate, and that should have been happening from the beginning. Get ahead of this stuff.
All of this.
Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. But if you have concerns, take a look at it and send us your feedback. And before we start the debate, do those things. But the fact that it wasn't done, people are suspicious, and they'll never be able to get over that now.
And you know what? And you know what? People are going to be suspicious. Whether there is a genuine cause for concern or people see the need to use this for fear-mongering or whatever, but people do have questions.
Yeah.
People generally have questions. In reading the bill, my only thought, I wasn't thinking asylum, but I thought to myself, I'm reading it and it feels as if every migrant that smuggled is a victim. It gave me that feeling, right? And we know that that's not necessarily the case. Some of them are complicit in this. They know that they're paying. They know that, right?
But other laws
made these arrangements,
sure.
right? And so,
but there are other laws to deal with them. And that's the point they've been saying.
That was the only thing that was coming to my mind. I didn't think once asylum, and so some people may be listening and saying maybe I was being naive, but I didn't get that. It doesn't
ever say asylum.
I didn't get I didn't get that. That was my only cause of concern.
Yeah.
Because the wording, again, like I said, and I understand there are laws to deal with that, but I'm just saying, when I read it for myself, that was the one thing that stood out to me. I was like, so is everyone a victim? Because I don't think so.
Okay.
But, right.
All right, let's get your reaction to it, folks. Let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Phone lines are lit up. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Laverne. Laverne, I'm Dwight.
Morning.
I'm Laverne. Move ahead to the class, okay? Move ahead of the class. But you are definitely correct. Dwight, this bill should have been sent to a select committee in the first place. That's what it should have been sent. And Ryan, see, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. Okay? Look, this bill, in its present text, Laverne, see, human trafficker, when you're talking, smugglers, they are criminals, okay? But what the government did, or what the drafters did,
They conferred the rights that you would give to asylum seekers and victims of human trafficking. They conferred those rights to the criminals who are human smugglers. Okay? You look all through the bill, you see victims, victims, victims. The only victim in human smuggling are children. Over the age of 18, you are criminals because you should know better. But this is what the government did. They gave those rights to human traffickers. I'm looking at the human trafficking bill to see exactly what these rights are. See, how could you be a victim, Dwight, when you're engaging in profit, in this thing for profit and perhaps a better way of life or whatever the case may be. But if you bring me to the Bahamas for a job, only to have my organs removed or to engage in some other stuff, and you've been holding my documents and making them, giving me fraudulent documents, that's human trafficking. I mean, that's human trafficking. But with the smuggler, once they are arrested, see, there's a section where you speak about protection, where the minister, in this case, the Minister of National Security, will be providing housing, will be providing food, will be providing clothing. Does that sound like someone who is a criminal?
Until you are repatriated.
But Dwight, the housing that you are provided for is Her Majesty's prison or the detention center. You're a criminal. You don't go and take the taxpayers' money when you're providing housing and clothing. What are you doing? See, Dwight, look, this bill has a lot of bad intent in it. Yes, the penalties are going to be hard or whatever the Attorney General is trying to say. But you cannot, see, the Attorney General does not, along with the Prime Minister, they does not know the difference between human trafficking and
Come
human
on now, you know that's not true. You know that's not true.
Dwight, let me make my point, please.
Yeah, right, let's get to it. Mm-hmm.
I read the bill. I comprehend what I read. You don't do that. There's a place for criminals when okay, let me give you an example.
Let's go back to what you said. So obviously the prison is not going to be the place you do this, right? You're not going to do that. So the detention center, yes, more than likely. And if there is housing, it'll be temporary, and then you are deported. I don't know.
What type of housing are you talking about, Dwight?
I have no idea. But whatever it is, it's not going to be indefinite.
Who provides housing like this for criminals? We have provisions in law for criminals, and where you're supposed to go.
Okay.
What if they decide? And then another thing, the minister of national security, he's going to have unfettered power. That position creates a chaos if the minister is
almost
corrupt.
Every law in the country is written like that.
Dwight.
It does not mean what you think.
See, Dwight,
now, people can take advantage of it, but that is every single law says the minister can do something. So again, that's the cabinet, that's the government of the Bahamas.
The innocent human trafficker that is afforded to innocent human traffickers, the smugglers. You cannot do it.
You're not looking at this in the correct way, and this is what the Attorney General is telling you. You're not looking in the right way. But I hear the concerns. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
And good morning, Laverne. Hey, Dwight. Who is gonna come to do the investigation to find out who's the smuggler or who came on the boat legal, or who's going to do that?
The people who do it now. The people who do it now. It'll be, right? You know exactly the answer to this. Mm-hmm.
You say the people who do it now.
Yeah.
All right? The people who do it now overwhelm or what they doing now and having a major problem in what they are doing now.
You sure?
Yeah, man. I live right on the ground. I watching it. I live in Gated communities or highfalutin areas where these things don't exist. I live where these things actually exist, right? Me and thousands of other Bahamians, right? And then I also hear you talk about the international community probably, tugging them to do this because, they have to do it, right? Or, because shouldn't the international community be tugging or pushing our government to implement Freedom of Information Act so they could be more transparent. In fact, shouldn't that something with the internet?
They certainly are, and we need the Bahamian people to be doing it too. I mean, not enough Bahamian people are doing it.
But wait, when we can have two administrations, right, being trying to push one bill, right, like what was passed lately, right? The FLM had their version, and the PLV had their version, and this one showed a desperation in pushing this bill. Why can't we see those same type of things happening when it relates to the Bahamian people, man? You know, because it looks fishy, it sounds fishy, and coming from the Attorney General, it ain't really sounding too right, man, Dwight. You know, we have to save this country for Bahamians, and it appears that we can be in plenty trouble down the road, Dwight, if we don't really take as a collective, as a people, if we don't take a serious look at this bill, we can be in problems, man, because these governments then prove to us over and over that they just come and tell us sweet stories, and then we just have to suffer the consequences down the road, man. Have a nice day, Dwight.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
And your guest, Ms. Gardner.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. The problem with some Bahamians, like you said, this bill was tabled from October, presented from October. I mean, at the last last hour, everybody's now complaining before even reading.
I told you about this yesterday. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know exactly what was happening. You know exactly. Don't do that. That's not fair. That's not fair.
All right.
This was snuck in. This really was snuck in. This is a big piece of legislation that should have been discussed more widely. Yeah, so that's not fair to the Bahamian people.
Yeah, you could take that part and say it is not fair, right? But it's also not fair that the government is trying to strengthen the laws of the country to prevent smugglers and traffickers from trafficking in persons and smuggling in persons to the Bahamas. And most of the persons who haven't even read the bill are complaining about when the government is trying to strengthen laws. You think that is fair?
Because of the optics, right? This is a big piece of legislation. Come to the Bahamian people and tell them, hey, this is how this is going to work. This is why what we're doing now doesn't work, and this is going to help us with this. Don't worry about this. This only means that, and this won't change this. They should have done that from the beginning. They did not do that, and so you can't get mad at the Bahamian people for freaking out because it seems like you snuck this in when we were very distracted about other things.
Persons who try to build a hysteria over something that is not what they has it intended to be, because like Cleaver Duncombe.
Well, again, that's not fair. That's not fair again, because things were removed, and we don't even know what difference it'll make that it's removed.
The housing and facilities.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't clear. It isn't clear. What do you know? What can you do? You know how this is going to work?
Dwight, like any other country in the world, especially Europe right now has a lot of smuggling from Africa and those different countries. Okay, all right. All their laws had to be strengthened at the same thing. Is the Bahamas in the world by itself, Dwight?
You're not answering my question.
I will answer your question. I say, is the Bahamas in the world by itself?
You know the answer.
So why are we a part of the United Nations and we have to abide by the United Nations rules and regulations? You think this was handed down to the Bahamas on its own, that the government is trying to do something untoward to its people?
A lot of people think that, yes. A lot of people
but it's
think
not, you know.
We don't know. Again, this all has happened in 4 days. 4 days. The education, the information should have been put out there, and it should have been widely discussed.
Didn't you say the information was out there from
It was October, but nobody was paying attention, and you know why nobody was paying attention. This is not how things work in this country. Yes, because you all are hypocrites. You know better than this. You know that this is not how it works. Marital rape bill is out for consultation for years. They talk to every single pastor they could find. But this, You sneak it in when everyone's focused on a by-election, and then you're upset that people have tons of questions, and we only have debates for a few days. I don't think this bill is as dangerous as people say, but it is suspicious. Don't get mad at people for being suspicious about it. It went by very quickly. And again, the process, the stuff that we finally saw the Attorney General and the National Security Minister and the Prime Minister saying came at the last minute. The last possible minute.
After the fact.
After the fact that you're going to start debate? No, that's not fair. You know why people are upset and suspicious. This is not the way we normally do things when we want the people to buy in to it. This is what we do when we don't give a crap about what the people say. And so the people have a right to be suspicious. Yes, they are, in many cases, blown it out of proportion. Absolutely. But you didn't do a good job with getting them on board. Not at all. Not at all. And had it been the other party that pushed this through, everybody in the PLP would have been carrying on like a crazy person. You know this. You know this. So the hypocrisy is sickening. Sickening. We still have questions. It is not going to be the end of the world, for sure. But we still have questions. There's still some ambiguity.
And I think, Dwight, given the temperature in the country as it relates to immigration, more explanation and time should have been given to sounding the alarm, sounding the alarm, I don't want to use that, but, saying, hey, this is here. We need to educate the public. We need to explain what this is about. Given the temperature, this is already, immigration right now is a very, very sensitive, volatile topic in the country. And so based on that alone, and government is aware, so based on that alone, to give people time to have their questions answered, and that doesn't mean that some people still won't object, but to get ahead of all that has happened, there should have been more time given. And so let's not pretend as if, saying that, like you said, saying that it was out from October, people just didn't pay attention. And you know how we are when it comes to by-elections and elections. Yeah. Everybody was focused on that.
Unbelievable. And again, you gotta. This is the end of the world is coming, because I would say, my God, thank God for Lincoln Bain. Oh Jesus.
Dwight, you know your mic is on, right?
Oh man.
You're not muted, right?
I know. I'm just saying this must be one of the Christmas ghost stories. But we have to thank him. It was over the top, but we finally paid attention that there could be some issues here.
Yeah, causing people to pay attention, causing people to read for themselves in some instances, and talking about it. And we can't just say, people knew and now they're making noise. People really did not know.
Yeah.
For a lot of Bahamians they were not aware. And so this felt like it was coming out of left field and coming very quickly.
And
much like you, I'm not saying that it's an asylum bill. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But had we put this out there in the public, talked about it ahead, we could have shut down some of the more, I want to say, wild ideas concerning the bill.
And again, I've been saying this every day. They just took out 11 clauses, and then let's delete that.
Okay,
and that's
let's take out 11 and then we're good.
So why was it there? Is there not going to be any impact from its deletion, right? It not being there. What does that mean? But no, it's fine. We could just drop that. We didn't really need that in the first place.
That's why I said to you initially when we began talking, what did we sign on to that we needed to push this bill out and to push it out at the speed that we're pushing it out? Are we that far behind? Maybe we were supposed to have this based on whatever we agree to whatever treaty we're a part of, perhaps this bill was supposed to have been in place years ago. I don't know.
Well, yes, no,
and
we
now there's a pressure.
Ryan Pinder said it, that we agreed to this many years ago, and we just haven't. Yeah, so
And
we're
so
absolutely
I
under
think
pressure.
we're maybe
without a
at
doubt.
the point where we're absolutely under pressure, and it was like, we got to push this out.
We won't
We're
be
not-
invited to the conference in 2026 if we don't have our homework done, apparently, Like, come from around here, Bahamas. Y'all's jokers. I don't know.
Maybe. And so that's why it went out with such haste. And as we see, it's gone through the Senate now. It's been approved, passed by the Senate, and here we go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bahamians still have questions. They still have concerns.
Absolutely.
It's still a volatile conversation, as immigration is. And perhaps that's maybe why it was done the way it was done, because they knew, government knows that immigration is such a volatile topic right now. So
let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Laverne. C. Allen Johnson, critical thinker. Dwight, let me
good
just
morning, C. Allen.
Good morning. Dwight, let me just first say you must give yourself some credit, because what happens is, on Monday on your show and again on Tuesday, first of all, let me say that to the lawyer who called, right? There's a levels beyond K-5 law practice. You go through middle school, primary school, elementary school, high school, college, and then law school. But when you stick at the K-5 level, it's just talking. But Dwight, giving yourself credit. The Lincoln Bean and others, they listen to the Guardian radio because there's some people that bring credible information on there. And then they harvest the information and make themselves instant experts on that particular information. And so long before Lincoln Bean, if you check your Guardian broadcast, you will see some of the very things that was adopted by them was on you 12 hours before they awoke to it. Let me give you an example. Dwight and Laverne, I want to describe this fruit to you. It has an orange peel. It's juicy on the inside. You can squeeze it and even make juice for it. It's called an apple. That's this bill. It looks like an orange. I tell you it's orange. You squeeze this liquid. It has a sour taste and everything. But then I argue to you that, no, yes, you're wrong. This is an apple. And that is what this bill is. And it demonstrates, Dwight, there's a concept, right? It says when individuals indulge in complex ideas of knowledge purely for self-gratification, showing off, or extract pleasure without leading to practical application, real solutions, or contributing, meaningful contribution, there's some waiting for that. There's a concept, it's called intellectual masturbation. There's a new concept that the Progressive Liberal Party has established, intellectual masturbation gaslighting. And that's where they overwhelm you with theories, credentials, nuances, simply to confuse you and try to prove that you are the one that is incompetent in spite of the evidence that proves contrary. This reminds me, remember the public polling with the gaming, right? Where you would said one thing and means another. You asked one thing, you were given another. This is a habit of the Progressive Liberal Party. But when Ryan spoke of this concept that this law commission prepare, this compendium of bills, did this compendium of bills actually solve the problems that we are now encountering, these individuals saying? It's easy, and that's the part of the gaslighting aspect of this particular party. You guys ask, we'd bring this up. Let me tell you what the problem is. We have countries like Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, the United States, and TCI that has a problem of smuggling people across their borders. Okay? So Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, TCI, and the United States got together and said, hey, guys, you have so many people smuggling people into our country, but you have nothing to prosecute them. So pressure came from them from the outside. I invite the people to deny it. One of them may have more influence than the other. That's exactly what the problem is, based on policies. And if you listen to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and others, they give you hints in their statements when you learn to listen. See, one thing with this government, you have to learn to listen, or they will gaslight you. The problem is that this bill was defective at birth. And the mere fact that they did not want to have a conversation, They screamed. It was tabled. They wanted 225,000 voters or people to go to the House of Assembly to get a copy of the bill. Why don't you ask them when they uploaded it to the website? Was it Monday morning, 2 days before the bill, when we found out about it? Those of us that watched the website when stuff is uploaded, it took 6 weeks to upload it. Then they say to me, you should have read it, meaning I should have flown to New Providence, paid the concert, give me a copy, and then read it, when it should have been made available. They had 6 weeks of consultation before this to come and talk to us. How many of our MPs came and told us this bill was coming and it had to happen? This is the gaslighting, and this government has no intent of governing for the people. And this is the problem we have. Right? This bill is a scary thought that compounds the errors that we have in illegal migration, defective control of our passports, our documents, and now you have a president of a country that says he is very, very concerned about individuals in countries who cannot identify the people within that country, posing a threat to his country. We are one of the borders of that country where his threat is. And so what it is misdirection. We have a country to build, not to be gaslighted, not to be misdirected. Right? You said something very important. You said you should see it this way. Right? Can you imagine a law that you can see your way, I can see my way, your co-host can see another way, and everybody can see another way? Is that supposed to be where on the surface that all of us see other ways, so that we don't even need a court to tell us the direction we want to go? That's where another defect in this aspect is. And then people say, other countries doing it. Tell me when any country verbatim has passed law verbatim that mean exactly the same thing. See, these are all another part of being gaslighting, and then they say, hey, you guys are being irrational. Like, we are incapable. We spent billions of dollars on education in this country for behemoths over the last 50 years, but they tell us it don't mean anything. Listen to what I say to you. Suspend your thinking. We'll think for you. That's why this government has to go. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. Let's take one more call, and then we need to get to weather and traffic and take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on. Hi. Good morning. You're live on the air. Good morning, caller. Yes, we can hear you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Same to you.
Dwight, you remember some time ago when I think I'd call in. I can't remember what we were discussing, but the trade called in something about a bill, and he said that we don't have sufficient people who are capable of drafting these bills.
I'll never forget.
I remember that.
I'll never forget that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I guess this is a clear example of the inefficiencies or not having the right person doing these things.
Do you think so?
I put this because they were talking about this victim thing, right? Dwight, let me put this scenario out there. Let's say me, you, and Laverne, we conspired together to rob the bank, right? We are caught. I am the mastermind. So in order to get me, right, in order to get the case going, you and Laverne turn crown, what do they call it? Witnesses. Are you victims?
This is a really different type of scenario, though.
No,
it really is.
We conspired. We got together. Now I can't.
Maybe your circumstances are so horrible that you decided to resort to a life of crime, and in that way you could very loosely be considered a victim. Sure,
no,
but again, that
you said very loosely.
Be right.
Yeah, very loosely.
Because you might potentially hurt somebody. I think somebody trying to be smuggled, I don't know, is not intent on hurting anybody.
Yeah, but
they're right. They're really just looking for self-preservation. It's very different. It's very different.
Right, but they understand in their efforts to improve their situation. They're in a terrible situation that they are doing something. They are breaking the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
They, that word victim connotates to the public that, this person was taken advantage of or they didn't knowingly, or something of that sort. But when you have people who are willingly participating in something that they know is illegal, They know what they are doing. They know that you should not be coming into the country illegally, but yet because others have done it and they've seen others gotten away, so they try the same thing. They are not victims. They are co-conspirators. Okay, so take that word victim out of that, because that is the problem.
It's a really unusual. I mean, it's not unusual for the Bahamas, but it's a very unusual way to look at this, right?
No,
Again,
but that's the way.
That's
the way that they are portraying it to us. That these people are victims.
These people are suffering in a terrible place wherever they come from, and they're looking for a better way of life.
They may be suffering, right? We all agree to that. But because you're suffering, you ought to participate in something that is illegal.
And you will be repatriated, and if you've committed any other crimes, will be fined and charged,
Yes,
or whatever.
But and we know that there are laws that will deal with them. But to say that these are people that the victim,
they're not hardened criminals. They're not murderers necessarily. They might be, but not necessarily.
Regardless of whatever status that they are, okay, whether they're hardened or softened or whatever.
No, that's very important.
What you mean?
That's very important. If your only crime was I tried to get away from a terrible place and I wanted to get here, that says a lot to the world, right? How you treat people like that versus murderers.
But people, right? We have laws. We have laws. So your thing is that I'm going to do it at any cost. That I'm going to break the law?
Nobody's saying that. What you have an issue with them being okay, but you will be dealt with according to the laws of the land, which are you being deported or I mean, you hung up on the name. We have a king. We have a king of the Bahamas.
Don't call them victims. But they are not victims.
We are subjects of the king of England. You're fine with that? I mean, when you talk about words. No king. Oh, but you have one though. So words.
I have one king, and my king is Jesus, my brother.
All right.
I have no other king.
So when you get caught up on words, those things happen. So I mean, let's move on.
Words are important.
Yes, but I mean, there are laws to deal with the people.
Causes wars. Words are important, and so you need to frame your words correctly.
All right. So we should they are dirty criminals, and everything will be better. That's what we're saying, if we say that?
Pardon me?
If we say, fine, they're not victims, they're dirty criminals, disgusting, dirty criminals.
You ain't got to say, you can say violators of our laws.
Okay.
But don't say that they are victims. The violators, the perpetrators, or something else. Because they paid their monies, most of them. They paid some of them thousands of dollars. So they are not no victims. They are law breakers of our laws, and we need to enforce our laws. Yes, they would be, but don't put that victim mentality in there. That's all I got to say.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what else to say, Laverne, but we encourage the government to continue with the education program, to explain themselves, explain what's happening here, what will be different, what won't be different, and what message you think this is going to send to folks. And again, we don't know if the issue of the health care has been resolved sufficiently, right? Because somebody messaged me after the show yesterday. Yes, the government says it's for emergency health care only, but will people say, well, if we send you to the Bahamas, they'll have to help you, right? Will people be getting that message? And that would be a dangerous message, but probably deadly, because of ambiguity with the language. It's very dangerous. So as he said, words are important, but I think we might be caught up on the wrong words. Don't get caught up on the wrong words and miss the bigger picture. That's serious. We got to go to weather, traffic, and the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Your final look at weather for today brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas. We've got a surface trough extending across the southeast Bahamas. That's going to support a few showers across the area today while weakening. The cold front also extends across the central Bahamas. The front will eventually catch up to and merge with that surface trough later today and then stall across the southeastern Bahamas behind the front. Cooler, drier conditions associated with high pressure just north of the Bahamas. But that merged front and trough will lift back northwards over the weekend. That's going to result in an increase in moisture and upper level support, promoting showers and thunderstorms for the central Bahamas on Saturday and the northern Bahamas by Sunday. Then another cold front is expected to move into the area by Monday. That's going to bring cooler temperatures, strong gusty winds for the next week, and high pressure is going to build behind that. So for tomorrow, look for partly sunny conditions during the day, becoming mostly fair at night for the southeast Bahamas. Elsewhere, partly cloudy to cloudy. The northwest and central Bahamas seeing the highest chance of showers and thunderstorms, about a 20 to 40% chance. By Sunday, partly cloudy to cloudy for the northern half of the country and a mix of sun and clouds elsewhere. Still an elevated chance of showers for the northern half of the country. And by Monday, partly cloudy to cloudy for, again, the northern half of the country and a mix of sun and clouds elsewhere. That's going to hold into Tuesday as well, but a reduced chance of rain for most areas by then. That is your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, calling all makers. Art supplies are back, and an art sale is on through December 16th at Sherwin-Williams. Fresh stock, new inspiration, up to 20% off through December 16th at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas. And your final look at traffic brought to you by Anyway Insurance Agents and Brokers. A reminder about Joe Farrington Road, the road work, the paving going on now. Avoid the area if you can. And in your real-time traffic, we've got a number of hot spots. We've got West Bay Street, just east of Arawak Key, heading into downtown Nassau. Slow-moving, heavy traffic just east of, east and west of Nassau Street. Mainly eastbound, but also westbound. And heading into downtown on Shirley Street near East Street, you'll see some slow-moving westbound traffic. Elsewhere, Milo Butler Highway looking better for you now. You'll just see that long line in front of you once you're north of Harold Pond. Longer lines of traffic on the Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway side. That's westbound to the roundabout. And Blue Hill Road still busy for you as you get closer to Independence Drive. Marathon Road seeing some heavy traffic northbound north of the mall straight up to Wolf Road at this hour. Those are your hot spots. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Need cover you can count on? Well, you can buy motor insurance your way. Stop by your nearest branch or visit nuainsurance.com. Simple, secure, and ready when you are. We'll be back with Morning Blend Business after the news and this break here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This New Year's Eve, Bahamar invites you to experience a night where luxury meets pure island energy. A night designed for those who want to welcome 2026 in unforgettable style. On Tuesday, December 31st, the party ignites on the shores of Cable Beach with dazzling entertainment, premium open bars, gourmet food experiences, and a midnight fireworks spectacular lighting up the sky. And headlining the celebration, one of the biggest names in global music, Grammy Award-winning superstar Sean Paul, live at Bahamar, bringing an explosive performance that will carry you into the new year with non-stop vibes. Indulge in the taste of Bahamar Culinary Showcase, dance under the stars, and immerse yourself in the ultimate New Year's experience, all at the Caribbean's leading luxury resort destination. Make this your most iconic New Year's Eve yet. Secure your tickets now at bahamar.com/events. Bahamar, life spectacular.
What's on your wish list this year?
A family staycation.
A shopping spree. Surprise me.
'Tis the season of surprises. You could win a tech bundle, family staycation, US $1,000 cashback, or US $500 Amazon voucher. Simply use your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card or Visa debit card for a minimum spend of US $100 or more. Learn more at www.cibccaribbean.com. Terms and conditions apply.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, December 12th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and it is time for a monthly Safe and Sound series, our partnership with Preventative Measures. Gamal Nuri with Preventative Measures, always with us. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Bahamas. Laverne, how are you?
Good morning. I'm excellent. How are you?
I am great. It's great to be here.
All right, so this is a special Christmas edition of Safe and Sound. We're talking about Christmas and criminals. One often comes with the other, unfortunately, it seems. And so we're going to be talking about strategies against physical and cyber attacks. We have a special guest with us as well, right? From Genesis Security Consulting. I hope I get your name right. Tesega?
Just Sega, but good morning.
Oh, okay, Sega Thompson.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good to have you with us. Good morning. Okay, so let's get started, everybody. Christmas and criminals. Wow, that's rough, but a reality, right? Often.
A reality often, and the thing about criminals, unlike Christmas, criminals are always with us. This is just perhaps a prime time for criminal activity where they are targeting and going after the joy that persons are trying to share. They want to be happy as well, but at the expense of individuals.
Yeah. So are things better? I mean, I feel like this was more in the forefront of your thoughts a few years back, where you would be afraid to cross the street to go into a store because there might be somebody there waiting to mug you or something. But have we made improvements, or is it as bad as ever, or are the criminals slicker than ever?
Well, I think the criminals adjust as we adjust. And that's across, every front, whether it's the physical aspect, or whether it's the cyber aspect. I'm sure Sega would be able to share a bit more from the digital side, because we are moving to a cashless environment, and so certainly as we adjust and change behavior online, criminals are doing the same thing, adjusting to the as we fortify ourselves. So. Certainly, it's still there. We still have challenges with persons leaving their packages exposed in vehicles. So those things still exist. As much as you would say that, there's a new generation of persons who probably didn't get that message, and so definitely it's still a priority as we go into the season.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. So let's get into it. from the physical, we'll get to cyber in a bit, but from the physical attacks, you mentioned it, leaving your packages, that's a common mistake there. But what are we seeing and we need to be mindful of when we talk about physical attacks?
Well, physical attacks would range from residential, from your home, as you put up your gifts, as you put up your trees, lighting from a safety perspective, so you're not creating fire hazards. This year we have seen an increase in fire events. They certainly have made the forefront. And as you now add these additional lightings, the electrical work to ensure that those things are properly installed. So from a residential perspective, you have to, you want to make sure that your home is safe. Your gifts, how you're locking and securing your facility. People may decide not to attack while you're out shopping, but they may be monitoring your movement throughout the day until you get home, where you're a bit more relaxed. And then there are certainly challenges with business security, as businesses now bring in new inventory, as businesses now stay open a little later in the evening to cater to shoppers. So all of those things are things we want to look at. Going to public events. I mean, there's a lot of events. This is the season where we have a lot of different events going on. So now, how are you moving in and around those events, parking your vehicle, your safety going from to and from the venue? So there are multiple things as it relates to the physical aspect that we can talk about.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are some of the strategies that you'd use to guard against a physical attack?
So, always situational awareness. Always know where you are, and that's one aspect of it. Where are you? What time of day you're moving? Who are you moving with? What area are you going to? Your route. So these are some of the basic strategies. Situational awareness, knowing where you are, and then knowing the condition of critical tools like your vehicle. Do you have enough gas? Do you have a spare tire? Is your phone properly charged? Do you have an emergency response protocol? For example, if you are in a remote area, your vehicle is broken down, do you have someone you could call to come and render assistance? And again, if it's only staying on the phone with you until someone else comes and renders assistance. So these are some of the basic strategies that you can deploy to make sure that your holidays are safe and sound, to take from our title. And so those are some of the basics. Situational awareness, knowing where you are, knowing the condition of your tools, your critical tools, usually phone, vehicles, knowing where you're going, the events that you decide to go to or the shopping areas that you're going to be going to. Where do you park in those shopping areas? Is there enough lighting? Do you see security? Do you see security moving in and around those spaces? So things like that are basic strategies that you can deploy to make your environment a little safer.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier, you said people are watching, and that's pretty scary. Is there anything you can do to prevent people from seeing your every movement so easily? Do you need to act like a ninja and be only in the shadows? I mean, what can you do?
No. If you're gonna go, even staying home, you're exposed. I mean, there's no way around that. We live in an environment where there are individuals who make a living planning attacks, planning to rob, planning to steal. So certainly there's no way in and around that. It's an inherent risk of just being alive. Mm-hmm. So persons are going to target. What you can do is to reduce your exposure. Reducing your exposure is being aware of what is going on, being aware of your circumstances, as opposed to traveling alone, travel in a group. Like I said, have a response plan. Things like that. Simple things that you can do to reduce your exposure. And because you are exposed, this is just, like I said, it's an inherent risk of living that persons are going to target. And what they're looking for the weakest link. They're looking for the weak target. So they're looking for the person who's perhaps moving by themselves on their phone, head buried in their phone, texting, who is not aware, who's not alert, who's not giving eye contact, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So this goes back to situational awareness, because you're gonna have to go. Where you're gonna go, when you're gonna travel to work, where you're gonna go to the store, these types of things that you need to deploy.
And with technology, we people are like just giving out information, right? Telling you
Yes.
via TikTok or X or whatever, I'm here at this big old party tonight. Look at me, and with all the pictures and the videos and the snaps or whatever. Give us some advice on that, on when to post or when not to post. What do you say, Sega? You can get in on that as well.
Sure. So, as you said, a lot of us live our lives on social media and we want everyone to know what we're doing so we could stay relevant. But a lot of people don't realize the amount of data that they give out there.
Wow.
You tell people when your birthday is, you tell people when you got your new car, when you got your new watch, and when you got new things, and you're celebrating, like you said, and you're outside. Summer comes, you be like, I'm outside. And so everybody know you're going out every night and it's Christmas season. And so now, and some people post where they live, because they check in, or they're taking pictures outside of their houses, and you can use a tool like Google Lens, and that kind of triangulates kind of where you are, and people don't realize the dangers of that. So now I know where you live, and I know that you're outside tonight, and so I could just come by and scope that out.
Wow.
And then I could sit down and watch you for a while and know what your habits are. I could know that, hey, that you get up at 5 to go to the gym every morning, or that you leave home at 7 and there's nobody in your house between 7 and 12 every day.
Or you're on vacation.
Yes.
Right? Because, people post that we're on vacation.
Yes. And there's nobody else home. So you're on vacation. So we have time. We could go shopping in your house.
This could be a 2-day robbery.
Not even 2 days, you gone for a whole week. So,
right.
I could not just take my time to go through your stuff. I could cook food in your house and use your gas. So
very true.
I always tell people, I think it's good to share, especially some things, but you kind of be a little guarded about what you share and how you share it. Sure, it's good to say that, hey, one of the things I do when I travel is I send out pictures delayed.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
I'll be back in Nassau before you know that I was in this place.
That you were
away.
Yeah, stuff like that. So are you traveling? No, that was last week.
Right.
So,
right.
You do things like that. You do it, like hours later. It's okay to post that you had fun at the party, but you may want to post it after you back home from the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you may not want to tell everybody all the presents you got this year. You may want to not tell people that, hey, you've been on a shopping trip, things like that.
Yeah. And, you said something that just triggered, because people are, you got these password questions, but you could go through somebody's social media and see the name of their dog or whatever right? Because they've posted every single thing. And people just aren't thinking about revealing too much information.
Yes, and that's why we always tell people be careful what they post, because they will not only what you post, but your passwords.
Yeah.
We try to tell people to start creating passphrases, just random sentences that you add all of the capitals and numbers and symbols and stuff like that, or use a password manager, which will create those strong passwords for you, and you just really need to remember one, or use biometrics to get in, because like you said, you're gonna post your anniversary, you're gonna post your birthday, you're gonna post about your dog, all your children names online, where you work, and people tend to use what is common, what they remember, to create passwords.
Yeah.
And even though I'm gonna tell them, please do not use your name, they're gonna say, okay, I can use my government name, I can use my nickname. But everybody online know what we call you, Boogie.
Yeah. Right. It's so amazing. And Gamal, I know.
Sorry, I just had a question. And this just happened with my mom recently. People reaching out from maybe known or saying, from known places, wanting your information. We're from this charity and we're looking to support, blah, 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 whatever, and wanting, okay, we are going to transfer you the money or whatever, and then wanting that information.
So I will always tell people I don't give out information online or calls or any of that. I don't care if you tell me you're from the bank. There was a situation, I think a few weeks ago, where someone got a call from what appeared to be the bank and asked her to confirm information. And it
Yeah.
appeared realistic and whatever, and she went ahead and she lost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, what I always tell people, and I don't even ask them to give me a contact number. If you say you're calling me from the Cancer Society about making a donation, I'm going to ask your name and whatever, and then I'm going to call the direct line for the Cancer Society and ask for you.
Yeah.
I'm still not.
I had that incident with
I
the
don't give
bank.
out financial information. When I call the bank, I don't even want to give them my credit card number because, as far as I'm concerned, I should be able to give y'all my account number and y'all should be able to pick up everything from there.
Yeah. I had that incident. Someone from the bank called and said that they noticed some suspicious activity on my card, and so they needed me to confirm, my number and all of that. So I said, okay, sure. I said, okay, go ahead, give me the number. And so they said, well, no, we need you to confirm it. I said, well, you haven't said anything, so I can't confirm.
But I don't know. Like the most
But I don't know.
The only thing I could do is confirm to you what my charge is, how much I paid and where I paid it. That is it. And this is it. And this is the person you call. That is the it of it.
Yeah. My goodness. This is wild. Gamali, remember when we were young, right? They told you, I don't know if they told you, but they said, don't put your name on your shirt. Don't, so that you don't want strangers to know your name.
What your name is.
But yet everybody's just all over the place telling everybody who they are.
And this is the again, these types of seasonal events like Christmas, like shopping seasons, and so you would get a call from a group portraying themselves as a bank saying we want to confirm these purchases, and of course you were shopping, but now they're giving you these extra charges. So they're finding ways to break down those barriers and exploiting the season. Similar things happen, like I think I mentioned to you a few weeks ago when I was on regarding the hurricane in Jamaica. These guys are very strategic in their approach. So now, using the charity aspect of it, Jamaica just experienced a major hurricane, so you want to give. So they're calling on the guise of giving. And now this is a holiday season heavy shopping holiday, perhaps the biggest in the world from what I recall, between the Thanksgiving until the New Year, probably the biggest shopping season of the year. And so now you're shopping, and now persons are going to use that. Hey, we noticed that these charges were placed on your card. Can you, like Laverne indicated, can you confirm? And now you start to feed into that because it's a tactic, it's a ploy to get you to open up because it's running on that emotion. So they're very strategic in their approach. Very strategic.
That's what they said. All cyber criminals do a play on human emotions. That is how social engineering works.
Right. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Getting some interesting text messages. We'll get to more on the cyber attacks in a bit. But this person says here, I passed a house this week and saw a pretty box for a widescreen TV propped up against the garbage out by the road, as if to say, look what I just got. I thought I could imagine the criminal driving through with a notebook and writing down TV at number 10 and the computer at number 15, Xbox and so on and so.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Breaking down the garbage boxes and hiding them outside the eyesight of the average person.
Yeah, definitely. When you get these larger, high-value items that come in boxes, you want to break that box down so it can perhaps fit in a garbage bag, or you want to take it to another location where you could dispose of it. So because again, this is how criminals work. They're driving around doing their intelligence work. They're doing their surveillance on you, and now you need the counter surveillance. So remove those large value items that are coming in. The big Amazon box. You have 30 Amazon boxes piled up outside. That's the criminal. Like Seika said, they were on a shopping spree. Now it's time for me to do my shopping spree in your home, and they are watching. Notice. Let's be real. This is what I'm saying. I said earlier, criminals are with us all year round. Criminals are coming when you're not home. How do you think they know you're not home?
That's right. They know your schedule. They've been watching you.
They were watching you. They know you're going out in the morning at a certain time. You're going to be out for these hours, and they know you just dumped several boxes to your garbage bin. So that your prime shopping time. So you
as
have
annoying as it is, we really try to break down our boxes. I remember first Christmas time, Mark would always say, no, 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 whatever this is, we're breaking this down, putting it in a black garbage, one of the big garbage, and then he's going to dump it somewhere.
Exactly.
Just taking those, because criminals are going to be driving around Christmas Day and after Christmas, because that's when all the boxes are, outside waiting for collection.
Correct. And in our effort, Dwight mentioned about in our effort to name and tag ourselves, and this is what you see now happening on social media. I want to be seeing that I'm at this event. I want to be seeing with my new event because I want to be relevant. As Sega mentioned, I want to be relevant and remain relevant. So I have to present myself. But at the same time, you're exposing yourself to not just your friends, but also to your foes.
Very scary stuff. All right, so we're getting into digital, but let's talk about it. Cyber attacks. What you can do at this time to not have these Grinches come after you.
Great. So I will start off by saying this is scammer season. So if the deal looks too good to be true, chances are it pretty much is. Because in today's society, we have to contend with stuff as like fake websites and fake social media ads. And so you have to be careful where you're going shopping, and be very careful with the links, especially when people send me stuff on WhatsApp. Someone sent me a link to something on WhatsApp this week, and I can tell you I have not clicked on it yet because they didn't tell me what it is.
Oh, wow.
Like anything that tells me it's a free giveaway, I ain't clicking on it.
Why?
Like you need to carry me to the actual site that I know of, because additionally, when you change fonts on some words, they will look like different letters. There was something, I think a few months ago with Microsoft, where it looked like the URL was Microsoft.com when it was actually an R and an N next to each other to make it look like an M.
Oh, boy.
So the attacks are becoming more sophisticated. So, and I always tell people, especially when shopping, check websites. So check the reviews independently from that site you see if it's not a site that you go on regularly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know about the rest of you, but I have some of my accounts set where I only send money to the card when I'm ready to use it. So I send like a small amount that if I lose it, or even though the bank has fiduciary responsibility, I don't feel like I'm gonna die about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do how I do my shopping. And
sometimes when after all the bills are paid, you only have a little bit left anyway. So it automatically happens.
All your accounts are small.
That's just automatic. But that's a good idea too, Sega. That's a good one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But some of us have some shopping habits, Some of us say not responsible. We just want shop. They call it retail therapy. And we're not judging. We listen and we don't judge.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I full out judge. I full out judge. I keep it in my head, but I full out judge.
And then, the banks are kind of good with it right now. They also have given you more freedom to put restrictions on your card. Like you can turn your card off for online shopping as well. So I always would suggest that you either use some of the banking controls on it or use one card for shopping where you can just send the money to that card as you need it. And it's always better with a credit card versus a debit card because credit cards normally have fraud protection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. And Gamal, any advice from you?
Well, I agree with what Sega has communicated. Again, you want to be aware of the fact that this is the season and individuals will be coming at you left, right, and center, whether it's for charitable events or whether it's a shopping spree or some major sale or some major discount. Again, they're tapping into that human emotion, that desire to win. Right? You want to be able to say, "Oh, I got a good deal on bags, or I got a good deal on perfume or kids' toys, things of that sort." And these are some of the things that they would use. It would appeal to persons who are fashionista because they went to your Facebook page and they saw that you were very much inclined to, keeping up with the latest trends. And so so now they know what to send you. They know that you're very much into your kids, and now they know what to send you. They know that you're into giving. so that they know what to send you, so they know how to target you and send you
Right.
that particular type of information. It's a very real risk, and it's not. I don't think we should be afraid. We just have to become sensitive to it, to know that this is the environment that we're operating in, and that we have to be very sensitive, very aware. I go back to the term I used earlier, situational awareness, not just from a physical component, but also from a cyber aspect as well. Knowing what are the risks and what are the type of tools that are going to be used against you.
And piggybacking off that, this is a season especially where you should be aware of any delivery problem messages or any messages coming from if you didn't go shopping on Amazon and they tell you there's a problem with your Amazon order, don't click it.
Right?
Find that.
Well, I mean, are people doing it though? Really?
Yes.
Yeah? You've never ordered anything from here before, but yeah,
This
okay.
is even before. You didn't order anything from Amazon in the last month, but Amazon send you a problem and tell you have a credit card, a problem with your card. UPS telling you your package reached, but if you don't give this information, you can't get it. The
Dwight, I want to tell you.
The post office telling you have a delivery you need to pick up, but you need to confirm something. These coming in, but you know you ain't.
You don't even have a box, but the post office telling you that.
I'm telling you, this is a real problem. This is a real problem, and we are having these conversations with certain people in our family on at least a bi-weekly basis, saying to her, but you didn't order anything, right?
Wow.
No. So don't click it.
Secret Santa. It was like Secret Santa, and Secret Santa ordered it, and I just need to collect it.
It's a Christmas miracle. That's what they thought.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you, folks. If you have questions for Sega and Gamal as we talk about Christmas and criminals. Sad reality. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. You can tweet us, you can Facebook us, you can text us, 422-4796. What about kids? Are we noticing kids fall into any traps, or they're more savvy than the adults? What do we see?
I think it's the same issue because you still have the scamming sites, some of which are targeted specifically for kids. And it's more about like free Roblox gift cards.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Roblox is it.
Yeah.
So you got things like that. And of course, we're always going to show them the latest gifts or something that's going to be at a better price. Mom said, I can't get this because that's too expensive. But look at it over here. Just like 30%, just a 30% discount with me.
Exactly. Kids, the kids are going to be targeted as well, and not just from the gaming aspect as well, but also from just exploitation persons who are coming on. I always advise parents you need to be very involved in your child's online activity and what they're doing, who they're chatting with online. Whether it's via roadblocks or these other PS4 type things, PS5, whatever the young people call it now, right? But you need to be involved so that you are aware of, hey, who are they chatting with, who they're spending all this time with online, playing a particular game. So all of that is, the exposure. Kids are definitely targets because they're not as aware and as alert to these scammers as they come on board.
Yeah. And I guess when they're playing games, playing with these strangers they don't know as well can be opening the door to criminal behavior. Indeed. Okay.
And then you don't know what they're watching on YouTube. That's another thing because you could potentially post a video on YouTube that may seem guileless or harmless, and then somewhere in the middle of the video it takes a left turn.
Correct.
My goodness. This texture says here, I've been noticing more and more scammers posting fraudulent links under major Bahamian news videos and reports on Facebook, usually saying, did you see the video of the incident? Am I the only one seeing this? No, I've seen that as well.
No, I've seen that too.
Yeah, they've even posted under the National Guardian, and wow. Yeah, I've seen that.
There was one for the longest under the Prime Minister. Yeah.
Right.
Well, okay.
And again, this is an inherent risk of being online. There's very little that the media house or the official site can do, because if you open up that page to public commentary, that means anyone from around the world can now drop a link in there, and those of us who are nosy and want to see, we see the link where here's a live video of the scene, and people click on it because they want that news. And this is the balancing of that human emotion where the fraud says no. If this is a big incident happening in your country, if I post something saying I have a live video, a lot of persons, not everyone, is going to post. So it's very difficult for the official site holder to manage that. It's very difficult to manage that if the site is open to the public for commentary.
Wow.
It doesn't even have to be the site open for the commentary, because I can go and I can create a page that looks similar to the Guardian Radio. I can use your exact logo and everything and make
Yikes.
it look legitimate.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Don't give anyone any ideas, Agatha. But yeah,
Too
but you're
late.
right.
It's
You're
probably
right.
already-
You're
But
right.
now think about it. How many times on Facebook have you gotten a friend request from somebody who's already been in your friend group, and you're like, what happened here?
Oh wow.
Wow. And then you find out, and then they be like, and then you see someone come on. If you see a new request from me, it is not
That's
me.
not
Right.
me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The same way
Oh.
it happens to individuals, it happens to companies.
That's scary. This person says here, how can I block? Okay, booking.com. This is very specific. Is it possible because whenever you look at anything regarding travel, they open up a window behind the window and you're looking at all sort of, looking at it all insidiously? Are they on your computer trying to get you to click on them to book your holiday or travel? Whatever's their way of just blocking them totally. Thank you. Okay, what do you make of that? This is either an ad or somebody had a terrible experience, but
That one was kind of hard to follow.
right. It could have been a commercial. I don't know. But anyway, tips for avoiding clicking on the wrong thing when you're online.
Be careful where you click.
Yeah, honestly.
The best you have with that, because if you're clicking on the wrong thing, it goes back to verifying the site that you're going to, the site that you're trying to go to, which is why I tend not to so much do links, but actually type in addresses.
Oh wow.
But we live how it works now in business is we have a lot of sharing of data. So when you go and you look at something on Amazon and then you later go to another site, you start seeing those same ads on the right or somewhere in what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's because you have organizations sharing data because, we kind of want you to buy things. This is consumerism.
Yeah. So I remember, I think we talked about this a while back, Kamal, but a few years now ago when everyone was asking about the cookies thing, do you agree? Were you supposed to say yes or were you supposed to say no? What do you do if you see that again?
I reject all.
Reject all cookies.
That's what I'm not telling you it works for everybody, but reject all will only leave your strictly necessary cookies, which means those are just the cookies that are needed for the site to operate. But you have, or I should say the function, but you also have performance cookies, you have social media cookies. There are several groups of cookies that are in there, and some of them, one of them, especially the social media ones, track what you do. And so there's a lot of data that is collected from us on the back end every time we visit a site.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I really don't appreciate how they use this wonderful word cookies to now be associated with something terrible like this, right? Oh, boy. And, okay. And this text just says here, some of the sites won't allow you to proceed if you don't accept it, right? And I've been seeing that with VPNs as well. They tell me we can't do this because you have your ad blocker on or you have a VPN. Is it safe to turn it off to do that thing that you want to do for that moment and then turn it back on, or should you just have nothing to do with it?
So what I do at times, because especially with apps, you would find that they would ask you for 1 million permissions, and you'd be like, I really don't want to give you all of this. So I will accept all the permissions, get it, and then go on the back end and turn everything back off.
Okay. All right.
Right. I guess it depends on the transaction and what business you're trying to conduct. But to Sega's point, you'd want to after you turn those things off, you want to turn them back on to make sure you keep yourself protected.
No, not the ad blockers so much.
Yeah.
Because ad blockers and VPNs, they all serve a purpose. Especially for me, if I'm on public Wi-Fi, my VPN is on.
Mm-hmm.
But you will find every once in a while that you will do it, and what you're trying to connect to will not connect because you have your VPN on.
Right.
So if it is something sensitive, I'm simply going to have to wait it out, or I'm going to have to hotspot instead. Because I'm not willing to take that risk, especially if it's a financial transaction, like I say, something that's sensitive. But if it's something like I'm just going to a random shopping site, not shopping, but just browsing or just looking, just going to a news site to just read something.
Right.
Turn my VPN off for that.
Okay. That's good advice there. Good advice. All right. So time went by very quickly. Let's get your final piece of advice for everybody so they can have a very Merry Christmas and avoid these Grinches out there. What do you say?
All right. Be careful what you click on. Be careful where you're shopping. Hey, be careful with your credit cards. Definitely. And delivery notifications. And of course, where possible, turn on multi-factor authentication, because putting added protection is always a good thing. So in all, long and short of it, have fun this holidays, but be careful as well.
That's really interesting. People in my office were complaining about the multi-factor they were like, what is, but that is always a good thing, right?
Yes, you know it more when you see a random request come in at 3 a.m. telling you it's asking for your code, and you know that you definitely wasn't trying to change the code because you were sleeping. And you realize if you didn't have it, they probably would have been in your account.
Wow. Yeah, very scary. And Gamal Nuri, you get the final word.
Yes, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be bringing family and friends at home, exposing our homes to different parties, which is not a bad thing, but just be mindful of that. Obviously, business operators, making sure that customers are coming into a safe environment, not just in the store, but certainly in the parking areas as they make their way to and from your particular business, ensuring that inside you have the necessary surveillance, your staff are aware of what's happening. And certainly as we go out, as we go to Junkanoo and other large public events, we want to make sure that we protect ourselves, protect our kids. The carnival is here. So there's a lot of different platforms or areas that we have to adapt and adjust our situational awareness during the holiday season. But most importantly, let's not forget the reason for the season. Let's enjoy and have a very merry, happy, safe Christmas and prosperous New Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sega Thompson with Genesis Security Consulting, and Gamal Nuri with Preventative Measures, and our Safe and Sound partner. Thank you very much, sir. Looking forward to talking with you more in the new year. Merry Christmas to all of you, and hopefully no Grinches get to you. We're going to take a quick break. Laverne will wrap things up in just a few. This is Morning Glen Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Mr. Grinch, you're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. And you're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot bowl.
This holiday season, as we reflect on a year of opportunities and challenges, CFAL remains committed to strengthening the financial future of the Bahamas. For more than 25 years, we've partnered with individuals, businesses, and institutions to build secure pensions, resilient investment portfolios, and long-term financial confidence. This Christmas, we celebrate progress and continue our mission to help you plan wisely, invest strategically, and secure what matters most to you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
At RBC, your idea of getting more happens here with a no-fee loan. With fee waivers, competitive rates, and flexible terms, get everything you want for the holidays. Apply today at rbc.com/holiday loan.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull, Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson, Island Luck, Starbucks, and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
As an athlete, I've learned that success isn't built on extras. It's built on the essentials. Strength, discipline, smart choices. That's why I'm proud to partner with Bahama Health to introduce Essential 300, a comprehensive health insurance plan that's all about covering what truly matters. Essential 300 is Bahama Health's most affordable major medical plan for groups and individuals. It offers access to a specialized network of care with essential benefits like preventative services. Because real strength starts with staying healthy. You may not be training for a race, but everyone deserves strong and affordable coverage with Essential 300. With Bahama Health, you can feel good about your health plan and protect what truly matters, your health.
For more information, call 396-1350 or visit www.bahamahealth.com.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of a fresh start with a personal loan at Fidelity. You could win refreshing prizes like a luxurious spa day, John Bolt gift certificates, a cruise for two, and more. Make that move to a fresh start today. Call 356-7764. Promotion ends December 19th.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Step inside the John Baptiste Jazz Club at Bahamar, where the rhythm of the islands of the Bahamas meets the soul of New Orleans. Every night, the lights dim, the music swells, and the air fills with that unmistakable energy, the kind that makes you close your eyes and just feel. Savor signature cocktails, curated small plates, and live performances from world-class musicians, all in an intimate, artfully designed space where every seat has a story. Whether it's a romantic night out or a spontaneous evening with friends, this is where you want to be. The John Baptiste Jazz Club, only at Bahamar. Reserve your table now at bahamar.com/jazz club or through the Bahamar app, because every evening plays its own tune.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. Executive Check Printers Director Pierre DePuche says that the checks commercial banks like RBC use have more security features than most current digital banking products. Adding that electronic banking has more fraud than checks. DePuche, who prints checkbooks for several major businesses, speaking out after the central bank announced it was proposing a maximum $10,000 limit on checks. He says a lot of people still have checks, and there's more fraud with other methods. You can read his comments in today's Guardian business section. Renugan Pro Limited, a renewable energy firm putting solar and liquefied natural gas plants on Cat Island, San Salvador, and Long Island, will raise money for the projects through a public offering next year. That's going, according to the company's president and CEO, Dan Roscoe, who was speaking at the Prime Minister's office during the weekly press briefing yesterday. He said the company will raise the money through Llano Corporate Services and expects the projects to be completed by 2027. According to the company's operations manager, Lamore Bingham, the company has already carried out land clearing on the islands and is in the midst of finalizing designs for solar arrays and engines. And U.S.-based aircraft operator Tradewind Aviation has announced new routes to Marsh Harbor and North Eleuthera starting this December. Tradewind Aviation announcing that it will be introducing new routes from Fort Lauderdale to Marsh Harbor and North Eleuthera, and a new Stuart, Florida to Nassau service, and it officially kicked off year-round service to Nantucket from Westchester County. Overseas, the heirs of an 83-year-old Connecticut woman are suing ChatGPT maker OpenAI and its business partner Microsoft for wrongful death, alleging that the artificial intelligence chatbot intensified her son's paranoid delusions and helped direct them at his mother before he killed her. Police say 56-year-old Stein Eric Solberg, a former tech industry worker, fatally beat and strangled his mother, Suzanne Adams, and then killed himself in early August at the home where they both lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. The lawsuit filed by Adams' estate on Thursday in California's Superior Court in San Francisco alleges OpenAI designed and distributed a defective product that validated a user's paranoid delusions about his own mother. It's one of a growing number of wrongful death legal actions against AI chatbot makers across the U.S. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. Your market movers from Thursday: Bahamas First Holdings moving 1,000 shares, closing at 270, up 23 cents. Commonwealth Bank moving 6,500 shares, up 9 cents to 410. CIBC Caribbean Bank moving 2,000, up 24 cents to 16.24. Finco up 1,000 to moving 1,000, up $1 to 16.20. And Consolidated Water closing at 6.92, up 11 cents. Emira Incorporated up 8 cents, closing at 11.51. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,054.35, up 1.79. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Really quickly before we go, Laverne, just a reminder of the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, and the Department of Gender and Family Affairs Men's Desk, inviting everyone to a men's NGOs general meeting tonight at 6 p.m. It'll be at the Physical Planning Hearing Room at Aventura Plaza, John F. Kennedy Drive, and Bethel Avenue. The topic: men's spiritual, physical, and financial health. A special meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Laverne, thank you so much for being here on a Friday. It was fun.
Yeah.
Wow, you sound very excited. But thank you. Thank you. I'll talk with you next week on your regular Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
Everybody
Bye.
enjoy, be safe. We'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
The wait is over. The all-electric Geely Radara pickup is back at Easy Car Sales. Choose from 5 all-new 2026 models, complete with dual cab comfort, impressive cargo space, great towing ability, and tech features straight from the future. The perfect pickup for both work and play is 100% electric elegance, complete with factory warranty. Schedule your test drive of the truck that's built for the Bahamas by visiting easy242.com or call 461-0100.
It's that time of year again when we look ahead, setting goals, making plans, and envisioning a better tomorrow. At CFAL, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Whether you're ready to start investing, strengthen your retirement, or build